Alright, I'm officially entering Kadokawa World Manga Contest. So, Kadokawa World Manga Contest officially over, results are in. To be fair, results were announced quite a while ago. I think it was at the end of May of this year. And I guess I mentioned some bits and pieces about that here and there in my videos, but I never addressed fully. So I decided it's time for me to share all the results and overall wrap my journey in terms of Kadokawa Manga Contest. So, did I win? Drum roll, please. No. Unfortunately, no. I didn't win. And on top of that, I haven't really received any feedback from Kadokawa. No, none, nada, zip, zero, nothing. Just no emails. There wasn't even automated emails with text like, hey, thank you for participating, but unfortunately your princess is in another castle. Nothing, just nothing. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed for a couple of hours or days or weeks. Who counts that, right? And main reason for that was that unfortunately this contest felt like one-way transaction, if you know what I mean, because as an artist, as an aspiring manga artist, you're working on your entry day and night, you polishing your story, you adjusting your panels, you drawing, cleaning line art, and so on. And then, of course, you kind of want to get at least any feedback on your work. Are you moving in right direction? And so on. So yeah, unfortunately, in terms of Kadokawa World Manga Contest, I received nothing. So that's on you, Kadokawa. Fix that. But I get it. They have this many hands on their team, so they physically probably cannot answer and send feedback to all participants. But at least they could kind of send this generic, at least something would be better, I guess. But of course, deep down, I knew I will not win this contest simply because it wasn't polished enough, and I kind of knew that, well, it's unlikely that I will win anything, but I was hoping for some sort of feedback for sure. So yeah, that's a bummer, but most important part is that I have learned a lot from that contest. And today in this video, I wanted to share my entry. I will go through my stories that I submitted for this contest, and I will share what I have learned and what I would do differently if I would have another shot on this contest. And we will look on winning entries, and I will share my opinion and how I feel about those. And also, at the end of this video, I will share what next for my journey and what other contests I'm participating and will participate in the future. So let's start. With my entry, I decided to participate in wordless manga category simply because I always adored and loved stories that can convey and bring emotions without relying on dialogues or heavy exposition. So I tried to do that with my submission. And in terms of theme, I choose parents and their relationships with their kids. Specifically, we We have father who is caught up with his work and kind of lost connection with his only son until tragic situation happens in his family, and then he is forced to confront what really matters. Alright, now let's go through my manga page by page. Let's look at some mistakes, what I have learned, and what I would do differently if I had another shot with this manga. So right away I can see that the very first page could be improved. In the original version, I immediately show what the boy is drawing. If I were to redraw it today, I'd remove that panel completely and I'd only show that he's drawing something and save the real for the later. That way the reader has another reason to keep reading. The second page, I actually still like it. I think it does its job, but after that, the biggest issue starts to appear: the backgrounds, or more accurately, the lack of the backgrounds, because I only had 1 month to finish the entire manga, so the backgrounds were the first thing I had to sacrifice, and you can really see it. Take this page, for example. I love the idea of the cat jumping from one panel to another. It adds a nice sense of movement, but imagine how much stronger it would feel with proper backgrounds and more kind of action details. The same problem shows up here, here, and even here. This page though is one of my favorite. I thought it was a clever way to show the cat disappearing, because it literally jumps out of the panel and vanishes into the empty white space of the page, just like it disappears from the character's lives. And here again the page feels a little bit unfinished. Some motion license, backgrounds, or even a few single textures would have made a huge difference. The next scene is another example. I wanted to emphasize that the father is completely alone while searching at night, and if I had more time, I would have added streetlights, buildings, wet pavement, and stronger lighting to really sell that lonely atmosphere. The blood on the collar, I think, actually looks good, and yeah, it kind of works in this scene. Then we come to this page, which kind of mirrors the opening of the manga. It's almost the same composition, but the emotional tone has completely changed. And I think that's one of the strongest storytelling choices in this whole one-shot. And finally, my first ever double page spread. I was honestly really happy with how this turned out. It was the first time I'd attempt something like that, and I think it gave the ending a much more cinematic feeling. The only thing I'm not completely satisfied with is whenever I manage to clearly show the illusion of the cat appearing from the boys and father drawing. Looking back, I'm not sure that visual idea came across as well as I imagined it in my head. And then there is this final page, which honestly is unnecessary, because those little ink pause prints felt like a cool idea at the time, but now they come across as a bit cheesy. If I were making this manga today, I'd probably remove the last page entirely and end my manga on the double page spread. I think it leaves the reader with much more stronger emotional impact. Now let's take a look at the actual winning entries. As I mentioned before, I entered the wordless manga category, so let's focus on those. The gold award went to Cells Within the Body by Ellie, Lynn. Out of all the winners, this one probably surprised me the most. The artwork is good, but it's not some insanely detailed masterpiece. It's also relatively short compared to some of the other entries. What really won me over was the idea itself. At first we see a group of women quietly knitting what looks like tablecloth of some sorts, and then something strange happens in the sky and they all rush outside, raising their knitting tablecloths into the air. Only in the final page do you realize what you've actually been looking at this whole time. Those women weren't making tablecloth at all, they were cells inside the human body repairing a wound. I thought that reveal was incredibly clever. It completely changes how you interpret everything that came before it. And another thing I noticed is the first page. It only has a single panel, but it's intriguing enough to make you want to turn the page. And that's exactly what I talked about earlier. And interestingly, this manga doesn't use double page spread, so it kind of proves that you don't need flashy layouts to tell a memorable story. Sometimes a simple but original idea is enough. The second place went to story called Bow by Light Comic Studio. I'm actually not sure whether that's one artist or an entire team, but judging by quality and page count, I wouldn't be surprised if multiple people worked on it. The artwork is very good, the paneling is dynamic, the environments are beautiful, and there are several stunning double-page spreads within this manga. The story follows a boy who dreams of becoming a professional violinist, and one day he meets his muse, a mysterious girl who inspires him to keep practicing, and eventually she disappears, but he continues playing throughout his life until they meet again many years later. Personally, this one didn't resonate with me as much. I felt the story dragged on a little too long for my taste, and I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I actually think it would have been stronger if the muse never came back, if she simply kind of inspired him once and then disappeared forever, leaving him to continue on his own. But that's just my personal preference. From a technical standpoint, the execution is incredible, and I completely understand why it received award. And again, look at the first page. It immediately hooks up the reader. And finally, there is the bronze winner, Hitokuji by Murji. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't really understand this one. The art is great, the line work is clean, and it has a unique style that immediately stands out, but the story completely went over my head. As far as I understood, this guy kind of discovers a stranded whale that somehow transforms later on into a human-like creature, and then they start living together, and apparently this whale creature really likes sandwiches. So maybe I'm missing something. If you understood the deeper meaning behind the story, please let me know in the comments, because I'd generally love to hear your interpretation. Still, I think there is an important lesson here. Not every winning manga needs to be immediately understandable to everyone. Sometimes having a unique artistic voice is enough to make your work to stand out. So what did I actually learn from Kadokawa World Manga Contest? Looking back at both my own manga and the winning entries, I think there are few lessons I'll definitely carry into my next project. First, create curiosity immediately. The first page has one job: make the reader want to turn the page. Second, don't underestimate backgrounds and environments. They aren't just decorations for your panels, they are part of the storytelling and help establish mood and emotion. Third, every page matters, especially in a short one-shot. You can't afford to waste space. Every panel should move the story forward. And fourth, save enough time to finish strong. The ending is what people remember most, so it should be your strongest moment, not the one where you are rushing to meet the deadline. And finally, if you are planning to participate in any future Kadokawa Manga Contest, don't expect feedback, because Kadokawa doesn't provide individual critiques for every participant, and that's just something to keep in mind. So what's next? As for me, I'm already working on my next contest entry. I will submit my next manga to Kadensha Awards. Hopefully, I will be able to finish it in time. I'm also thinking of trying Kadokawa Mochikomi option, which means that I can basically book online meeting with Kadokawa editors and present them my portfolio, some of my works, some of my manga projects, and they will provide their feedback, their critique. Basically, will probably bury my work to the ground, but let's see how it will go. So whether I win or lose the next contest, I'll keep documenting the entire journey here on this channel as always, because my goal was never just to show the highlights, it was to show what it actually takes to become a manga artist. Sometimes that means sharing wins, sometimes it means sharing failures. But every contest, every finished manga and every rejection teaches me something new. So thank you for following along on this journey, and hopefully the next contest video will have a happier ending.
This is author song of my YouTube channel, and it's not made by AI. Someday I will become the greatest mangaka, so you better subscribe.